Malaysia.
Thank you, Madam President. Malaysia commends the initiative of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and France, which have received overwhelming support of UN member states. Malaysia fully supports the collective efforts of the international community towards the two-state solution and recognition of the State of Palestine. This collective global commitment and acceptance of the two-state solution and recognition of the State of Palestine should be taken as a key step forward to end Israel's colonization, illegal occupation, and politics of dispossession in the occupied Palestinian territory. It is in this context that Malaysia is going along with the draft resolution that seeks to endorse the New York Declaration. At the same time, Malaysia wishes to make its position clear on the New York Declaration. Any initiatives that seek to advance the two-state solution must not be driven only by narrowly defined or politically manipulated security concerns at the expense of the security of the Palestinians and their inalienable rights, including their right to self-determination, as well as their right to statehood. Palestinian statehood is not a reward, it is an inherent right. The realization of the two-state solution and the recognition of the State of Palestine should not be subject to any preconditions. And speaking of security, it should be enjoyed by all, certainly not just for one party or country. Malaysia has consistently called for the establishment of an independent and sovereign State of Palestine based on the pre-1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital, and Palestinian statehood including its sovereignty, territorial integrity, and the right of return of millions of Palestinian refugees, all of which are guaranteed under international law and therefore must be part and parcel of the solution for it to be viable. Madam President, our efforts must be genuine and not be undertaken for the sake of political expediency in response to domestic pressures. It must be based on full respect for international law and commitment to peace, stability, and justice for all. In the implementation of the NY Declaration, its shortcomings must also be fully addressed. There must be concrete actions and commitments from UN member states with a time-bound action plan to protect and preserve the Palestinians' fundamental freedom and their right to statehood, respect the will and aspirations of the Palestinian people, guarantee security for the Palestinians, including through the immediate withdrawal by Israel from the OPT, diplomatic recognition of Palestine state, and socio-economic development for the Palestinians. Fully support the mandate and role of the UN in providing aid and development assistance to Palestine, including the indispensable role of the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA, and ensure that Israel is held accountable for its persistent violations of international law, for the crimes of genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity, and galvanize efforts to deliver justice, including in the form of reparations for Palestinians. This is Malaysia's expectation. Our vote in support of the resolution today reflects our solidarity with Palestine and the international community's commitment to realizing peace, stability, and prosperity in the Middle East region. For this declaration to be meaningful, a first step is for it to bring about an immediate end to the ongoing Israel's war and atrocities in Gaza. Thank you.
I thank the representative of Malaysia and give the floor now to Pakistan.
Thank you, Madam President. We should get used to saying Madam President in this hall and more often in the UN system. Pakistan has voted in favor of the resolution just adopted. In doing so, we reaffirm our long-standing and principled position on the question of Palestine based on the inalienable right of the Palestinian people to self-determination and the establishment of an independent, viable, and contiguous state of Palestine on the basis of the pre-1967 borders with Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital, in accordance with the relevant resolutions of the United Nations and international legitimacy. Pakistan has, without prejudice to its long-standing and principled position on the question of Palestine, endorsed the outcome document entitled New York Declaration on the Peaceful Settlement of the Question of Palestine and the Implementation of the Two-State Solution of the high-level international conference convened in New York from 28th to 30th of July. This endorsement reflects Pakistan's consistent commitment to the realization of a just and lasting peace. Pakistan strongly condemns the ongoing Israeli aggression in Gaza, which has claimed the lives of over 64,000 people. The relentless destruction of homes, schools, hospitals, and other civilian infrastructure constitutes a grave violation of international humanitarian law and has inflicted untold suffering on the Palestinian people. Equally alarming are the continuing attempts by the occupier to expand illegal settlements in the occupied Palestinian territory in flagrant defiance of international law and relevant Security Council resolutions. These actions not only exacerbate the humanitarian catastrophe, but are also an attempt to undermine the prospects for a two-state solution. Israeli illegal actions and blatant violations of international law across the Middle East are endangering international peace and security in the region. It must not escape accountability. Pakistan calls for an immediate, unconditional, and permanent ceasefire across Gaza and all occupied Palestinian territories, and full and unimpeded humanitarian access to the besieged and starved Palestinian population. Lasting peace requires a credible political horizon, one grounded in international law, and for this, the occupation must end, and for that is the actual root cause of instability in the Middle East. The convening of the International Conference on the Two-State Solution, co-chaired by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the French Republic, was a timely and necessary initiative to generate renewed momentum and to translate international commitments into concrete actions, advancing the long overdue realization of the Palestinian people's right to self-determination and statehood. It must be followed by concrete and coordinated international action to finally achieve the long-coveted peace and stability in the Middle East. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Pakistan and give the floor to Algeria, followed by Nicaragua and Namibia.
شكرا السيد الرئيس. يتشرف وفد بلادي بأخذ الكلمة لتعليل تصويته على القرار الذي تم اعتماده للتو. لقد صوتت الجزائر لصالح هذا القرار باعتباره خطوة جماعية وملحة نأمل أن تفتح أفقا سياسيا يلوح فيه بصيص أمل للشعب الفلسطيني الذي يكابد إحدى أحلك لحظاته التاريخية. صوتت الجزائر تأكيدا لدعمها الثابت الذي لا يتزعزع للشعب الفلسطيني وتجديدا لالتزامها الراسخ بإقامة دولة فلسطين المستقلة ذات السيادة الكاملة وعاصمتها القدس الشريف. إن هذا النص يعكس الحاجة لتحرك عاجل لإنقاذ الشعب الفلسطيني من خلال الدعوة إلى الوقف الفوري للحرب الوحشية على غزة وإلى إيصال المساعدات الإنسانية دون عوائق لتخفيف معاناة شعب محاصر ومجوع كما يدين الأنشطة الاستيطانية الإسرائيلية غير الشرعية. إن إعلان نيويورك يبعث برسالة جماعية واضحة مفادها أن السلام الحقيقي لا يتحقق إلا بإنهاء الاحتلال وتمكين الشعب الفلسطيني من ممارسة حقه غير القابل للتصرف في تقرير مصيره، ويؤكد على حق الشعب الفلسطيني في أرضه، حق لا يسقط بالتقادم ولا بالتخاذل. غير أننا نؤكد في هذا السياق أن تصويتنا الإيجابي على القرار المعتمد لا يمس من قريب أو بعيد ثبات الموقف الجزائري ووضوحه، ولا يفهم منه أنه مصادقة مطلقة على مضامين إعلان نيويورك ولا لملاحقه. وإذ نؤيد الغاية الرئيسية للإعلان وهي إقامة الدولة الفلسطينية المستقلة كاملة السيادة وعاصمتها القدس الشريف، فإننا نرفض أي صياغة توحي بمساواة زائفة بين قوة احتلال غاشمة وشعب رازح تحت الاحتلال، أو أي لغة تنتقص من حقوق الشعب الفلسطيني التي تكفلها المواثيق الدولية. كما أننا نشدد على أن استقرار الشرق الأوسط لا يكون من خلال سلام مصطنع، بل ثمرة لسلام حقيقي لا يبنى إلا على إنهاء الاحتلال ورد الحقوق والمظالم إلى أهلها. ونؤكد أن عنوان استقرار الشرق الأوسط هو إنهاء الاحتلال الإسرائيلي للأراضي العربية. وفي الختام السيد الرئيس، نؤكد على أن جدية المجموعة الدولية في إنهاء محنة الشعب الفلسطيني لا تقاس باعتماد إعلان نيويورك اليوم، بل بتنفيذ مخرجاته غدا. والجزائر على أتم الاستعداد للعمل مع جميع الأطراف لترجمة هذه الكلمات إلى أفعال ملموسة تنصف الشعب الفلسطيني وتمنحه الحرية والكرامة والعدالة، وتقود إلى إقامة الدولة الفلسطينية المنشودة وعاصمتها القدس الشريف. شكرا.
Shukran to the representative of Algeria. I give the floor now to Nicaragua, followed by Namibia.